Okay. We are continue of the topic in Abhisamayalankara, second chapter. Again, we have to also understand what's the purpose of this study, studying in this 70 topic. Particularly when we meditate in a Lamrim Chemo, the Lama Tsongkhapa's goal for setting up this Lamrim is to lead individual practitioners to Mayana path, individual practitioners to able to to grown up mental attitude, to generating mind, mind to be able to generate in a more greater scope way, more wider. So to really to understand more detail of a Mayana path, Bodhisattvayana path, it is very important to this 70 topic. 70 topic really gives you really clear picture of the Mayana path, more detail behind in a Lamrim. When you in a great Lamrim, is basically it talks more in a more detailed practice in this. I say how to practice in a 6 deeds, 6 parameters, and also way to generating bodhicitta. But behind those, there's so many things that in the Mayana tradition, in the Mayana path, in a great scope that we have to understand, such as this, grounds and paths, different type of stages that in the Lamrim Chemo it haven't really explained, and that basically we have to go through understanding such texts as a 70 topic. Now, again, in the Lamrim Chemo, it goes way to it leads us to generating the bodhicitta mind, and it leads to practicing in the 6 parameters. Then particularly go more detail in Shine and Hatong. Then is this? There's so many still haven't directly communicate about the Mayana path. Somehow Lama Tsongkhapa left that much. So these things also we have to understand. Some more additional understanding have to get through the Abhisamayalankara, particularly in 70 topic, which gives you more detailed understanding. Then sometime in our mind, it is right now, it is not relevant. I don't have a direct realization in emptiness. I don't have this and that. So you feel like, you're going through so many lists that you don't have in your hand. So sometimes you might feel like, okay, it's so far. It's so far. Now, interesting thing is that if we look for this, why we feel this, why we feel this, I think in our mind, we are so habit that we have everything. We fall in an expectation. We want things now. We want the things, easy way, in a quicker way. I think this kind of impatient, in one hand impatient, in one hand strong expectation, and all together, I think sometimes we might get like, oh, it's not nothing that I can use now. So I talk and study so much. We might get that. I think but this is again. This way of thinking becomes very narrow way. That more the understanding, better the solving the ignorance, which is the base of the suffering, cause of the suffering. So basically, when this kind of mind occurs, I think this is important to think that. More the wisdom, better to, overcome from the ignorance, which is the cause of suffering. So that angle, so also you can think more better. We can think more better. We can see better. So anyway, within the 70 topic, the first topic. We've completed exalted knower of the aspect, which is almost like an aspect of omniscience, which we have a 10. We finished that already in first chapter. Basically, in the 10 topics, it have a whole, I say, not only in the Mahayana Suki, how you say that in the Mahayana. Mahayana ordinary being and Mahayana Arya, there's two categories, based on an individual practitioner who have a direct realization in emptiness, then it becomes Mahayana Arya Papa. We don't have the conceptual understanding in emptiness becomes ordinary, in terms of ordinary. So in the first chapter, it covers both sessions, Mahayana ordinary practitioner and Mahayana Arya practice. In the first chapter, it covers pretty much all those things. Now, in the second chapter, the know of the path there's 11 categories, aspects. Basically, it is more concentrating in Mahayana Arya. Mahayana Arya's practice. Mahayana Arya's practice. Even the knower of the path, when you say knower of the path, in Tibetan word it calls lamshe, lamsheva, knowing the path. It is only the mental continuum of Arya Bodhisattva. It is only path of the Arya Bodhisattva, nor the path that only exists in Arya Bodhisattva. Bodhisattva ordinary, Bodhisattva ordinary, for us to say Bodhisattva ordinary is kind of uncomfortable. This word is uncomfortable. But anyway, Bodhisattva ordinary don't have this know of the path. Now, just to define what means the lamshe, maybe in your textbooks there must be a definition of the know of the path, but the generally speaking is the Arya Bodhisattvas, we can say Bodhisattva's realization, which is holded by direct realization of emptiness. Bodhisattva's realization, which is holded by direct realization of emptiness. So that is a kind of like a definition or defining the knower of the path. So therefore, Arya Bodhisattva's realization in impermanent is also knower of the path. Arya Bodhisattva's realization in I say meditation in compassion and bodhicitta is also knower of the path. So basically, when you say knower of the path, Arya Bodhisattva's, all the Arya Bodhisattva's path is knower of the path, because it is holded by direct realization of emptiness. So this is kind of like just defining the know of the path. So in the second chapter, Abhisamaya Alamkara, second chapter is basically concentrating the realization of the Arya Bodhisattva. So basically, know the path. It is knower of the path, it is pretty much. Yeah, these are the 11 aspects of the knower of the path. So far, we completed limb of the knower of the path, know the path over here, know the path of the solitary realizer, mind the path of seeing. Pretty much mind the path of seeing and know the path of the Bodhisattvayana is kind of like the same. So, basically, over here, know the path, we have like 11 different type of aspect. Basically, it is divided into two, know the path of a seeing, I say, my Bodhisattva's path of a seeing and the path of a meditation. So the first and second and third and fourth is all these are you can say path of a seeing. It includes in the path of a seeing. So know the path of, let's go with the second one, know the path of the hearer. Tibetan words, Nyintoki Lamshe Velamshe. That means Bodhisattvas, Arya Bodhisattvas, realization in the selflessness of a person. Is this know the path of a hearer? Hearer. Heroes. Hero. And know the path of, again, Arya Bodhisattvas, realization in non-duality is know the path of know the path of the solitary realizer, Rangel. So, again, sometimes, now I want a little bit to give the difference. All of us so much, like study in the Lamrim, so many times when we think like selflessness of a person and selflessness of phenomena, we think about emptiness, which pretty much we think about the point of view of a Madhyamika Prasangika. But over here, when we say selflessness of a person, is a slight different idea. When we make an example of a know of the path over here, is a Arya Bodhisattva's realization and selflessness of a person. Now over here, selflessness of a person, how we define, is slightly different than Madhyamika Prasankika. This is go with a little bit style with the Madhyamika Sovatantika Umarangyupa. So where they define selflessness of a person is slightly different. It's like Rangya Tube Zyogi Tomba. That means empty of a self. Existing, exact that one. It is realization of that empty of that kind of a self. Is defined as a selflessness of a person. So Arya Bodhisattva's realization of that is the I say know the path of a hero. Now, in the sutra, there's a Buddha, in the sutra, Buddha mentioned the Nyintu Hirya. I say hearers. For those practitioners, the principal meditation is selflessness of a person, which is empty of self-sufficient substantial existing. Empty of that is the main meditation of a hearer practitioner. And empty of duality is the main meditation for solitary realizer, Rangya. Then emptiness of truly existence for main meditation for Bodhisattva. So there's three main subjects to meditate. subject. Three main subject. You say subject. Meditation. One for hearers, one for solitary realizers, one for object, one for bodhisattva. So, so these three things. So, in the bodhisattva have both. Arya bodhisattva have a realization on both of those three. So, all those three. My English is getting worse. Okay, let's. So now, just to get a little bit understand, when we say all these, from first, in the second, third, fourth are established in the path of seeing. So, just to give a little bit of understanding of a path of seeing, is that why we define path of seeing, because it have a direct realization in emptiness. So, path of seeing is divided in a session and off session. Session, when it's a session, meditation in a there's a meditation in emptiness, and also there's a meditation in the selflessness of a person, and there's a meditation in a non-duality. So meditation in a path of seeing, when it's a meditation session, there's a different object of a meditation exists. But when it's a meditation in a emptiness, this is basically in a direct realization in emptiness. When there's a session called Nyamsha, meditated eco-pose. When Arya Bodhisattva meditate in emptiness through the direct realization, there's no appearancing of an object of negation. That means no appearancing of a truly existence. There's no appearancing of a conventional reality. And there's no appearancing of a duality, subject-object duality. It's all a non-duality. So that meditated eco-pose is very powerful and how you say, very powerful and concentrated. So therefore, it becomes antidote of grasping in truly existing. It becomes antidote of grasping in truly existing. Particularly, like there's two types of grasping in truly existing. Grasping in truly existing, which is influenced by logic and reason, by some thought process, and there's a grasping in truly existing, which is kind of like an innate and naturally, without influence by your own experience and logic and reasons, nothing, something involved in, kind of like a very natural feeling that we call innate, and one is like imputed. There's two different levels, and in a path of seeing, meditation in emptiness, first in a direct realization of meditation in emptiness, that becomes direct antidote of imputed grasping truly existing. That means basically, you feel things of truly existing because you have some logic and reason, some experience. You prove those kind of truly existing. That kind of grasping are become eliminate in the path of seeing. Meditation in emptiness, that it becomes an antidote and eliminates on the path of seeing. I think in the later, again, still comes more explanation of those places. However, today we go more the commitments are. Now, today we have like from 5 that minor path of a meditation, which is a Gonglam. So this is kind of like a review a little bit, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this is kind of, we finished.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, this is also kind of paddle meditation. Where's this mountain? Mirror. Okay, now path of meditation, which is called Gonglam, Gombelam. Then naturally, after path of seeing, we, individual person becomes more continuity. Gomba is familiarizing, more continuity meditation and direct realization and emptiness. So therefore, it called like path of meditation. Then, now again, when we talk like a 10 bhumi, 10 bodhisattva bhumi, the first bhumi, like most of in the first bhumi is in the part of the path of the seeing, path of seeing. Then from there's only one part of the bhumi which is there's only one part of the path of the seeing which is the second bhumi, part of the second bhumi, but the most 10 bhumis are part of the most 10 bhumis are part of the path of a meditation, path of the meditation. So again, if we need to maybe in later, maybe we can organize more gentle way to explain those 10 bhumis. So now, path of the first, path of meditation. We can I say function or division, or due to generating path of a meditation, what kind of function that exists is that the first one, I say internally subduing the affliction, the delusions. So. Manifesting over here, we have like in the path of a meditation, there's the practitioners, practitioner doesn't experiencing the manifesting afflictions. Manifesting affliction, that means grossest level of delusion. The reason again, due to understanding in emptiness by direct perception, getting realization in emptiness directly without conceptual. Due to that, there's no experience of manifesting afflictions. Even last time we have a talk, due to getting direct realization in emptiness, all the affliction as like a treated by medicine, the poison which is treated by medicine. There's no any harm by those afflictions. So now, due to that, what happens is externally, Kibu tamjela duba means respect, towards to the sentient being. So that basically, in the path of a meditation, the meditation in a bodhicitta is really increasing, improving more higher and higher. So therefore, it's naturally, respect in terms that meditation and compassion is also extremely deepened. So therefore, it's naturally, how you say, Gyu Tamjala Duba, respect. Now, internally become victor over the delusion, Chakson Yamon Shiva. So there's a in some time bodhisattvas, the practitioner who have a really great compassion or great meditation in emptiness. Sometimes there's like an example for like a Milarepa. There's a maybe most of you hear about the history. Some of the people get jealous towards to Milarepa and they poison Milarepa. But due to realization, there's not able to. Due to strength of the inner, there's nothing able to harm. Due to strength of internal realization, there's nothing can harm, like poisons and so on and so forth. But also in the text, there's also description of like also the weapons and so on and so forth can't harm. So maybe in Tibet, there's a particularly some kind of special blessing that they say it can prove the how you say the Tsunsung. Tsunsung means it protects from the weapons. Particular kind of blessing Tsunsung. So anyway, for the Arya Bodhisattvas, there's nothing due to realization in emptiness, able to. One time, in early time in South India, His Holiness senior tutor, he came to give Lamrim teaching, and one of his attendant got some problem in some of his physical have a problem, and one American, my friend, he is very good with acupuncture, Then he wants to give the acupuncture for the attendant. Then when he tried to, put the needles, it never going in. That time stuck in. So the tutors, the attendant, he said, he took something, blessing string out. Then he said, after that, then he told me that after the acupuncture able to hit it. So anyway, so due to belief and faith, and also due to realization, so this kind of like once we're able to reach in a path of a meditation, this kind of things. Then I think there's in Sarah, there's one monk, one senior monk, and he was really sick, and when he was sick, he really decided like, okay, now he's going to die. So he he take out all his belongings and he sold and make lots of offering, and somehow his mind, he have kind of serious illness, but his mind is like a not kind of like a grasping or something worry or strong expectation or nothing, like okay, maybe due to cause and karma, maybe my time to leave. So that kind of like a karmic strong believing, cause and effect karmic understanding or practice, somehow he recovered, he came back. So basically how the mind is so strong that even doctor might tell you will die after 3 months or after. Doctors are interesting. when I went to visit some doctors, and any doctors, they always scare you. Like, it's kind of interesting thing to see, like the so anyway, basically Golamgi Chepa, this powerful path of meditation, what it's showing is, basically, once we have this mind, this powerful mind, there is the external things. The mind can overtake the body. The mind can overtake the external, this kind of situation. Sometimes. Great practitioners. We don't have to go really far. Within the hour. These days we can see those great practitioners. Once we be with them, it's just naturally some kind of power they carry. There's early time, maybe 90s. One time, Lama Zopa Rinpoche came to visit in Serra. I think there's something we have to do with the Lama Osel's entombment. So, there's a lot of. We went to receive Rinpoche, and we came to one town close from Serra, and this regular Indian restaurant. We are having tea, and somehow the owner of the restaurant, kind of just regular, I mean, his background is a Hindu religion. Somehow, like, couldn't stand, with this Lama Zopa Rinpoche. He felt some kind of strong faith and some kind of very. This Indian manager, he never saw Lama Zopa, never heard of, but there's nothing at all. So the next day he came with a huge offering with the flowers and so this kind of things, due to internal realizations, and so overtaking the external, all those things. So basically this is a function or of the path of the practicing path of the meditation. Then the sixth, we can also internally practice to enlightenment, and that means basically whole concentration. Whole the concentration of the practice, one is geared towards to the enlightenment, purpose of benefiting for sentient beings. There is a naturally such a Chudinsky, wherever environment that practitioner lives, that house or that environment, all environments, it transform in like a holy place. Holy place. Yes, again, with the sixth one, in the early time in Serra, there's several, things are not very clean, and there's, but there's some Westerners I met, and It's like so peaceful. It's like so like they don't have like a shower and all the regular things, the clean kitchen and the shower, hot shower and hot all those things doesn't exist. But somehow in the Sarah, once they come to Sarah, they're like, it's like mind was so happy, so peaceful, so tamed. This person is that person which I met is from Middle East. It's not a Dharma practitioner. There's nothing this kind of influence. Somehow just a regular backpacker tourist. So somehow I just chat with him and like he said, like so. Yeah. So when we think this kind of the sixth one. In the days of like thousands monks, definitely there is a Bodhisattva person meditation and path on meditation. So, however, due to this kind of like internal concentrated meditation, the environment transforming. Like a place like here, like LMB, there's a lot of practice going on. There's a lot of virtue activities going on. Then naturally in the future. It's already there, but it will increase the feeling of a peacefulness. Feeling of a peacefulness. It will be really grow. This is, I think, then it is, basically, more the practice and the meditation having done in the environment. The nature of that environment becomes kind of holy place. So there's a sometime in Tibet. We have sometimes there's like, oh, this statue is very very blissful. This statue, this kind of like a concept, but many times it depends. This statue is more blissful, or this kind of things is person who does the consecration. It depends on the person who does the consecration. If that person, individual person, who have a more understanding, more wisdom, and more faith, towards the Dharma and practice, and then whatever bless or consecration done by that person, that statues become really due to in general speaking, in that it becomes very blessed. So. Everything is the internal realization. It's not the size, it's not the quality, it's not the, it's the person who, the motivation, the person who consecrating, or the person who created all those things is entire in the mind. So now again, all these are right now is described, this kind of like a function is described in a path of a meditation, but again, we can ask question, all these kind of function, does exist in the path of seeing? Yes, it does exist in the path of seeing, but the reason why it comes to explanations, comes into path of a meditation is like in the Bodhisattva bhumis. It is the path of meditation is kind of like the final. Once it's enlightened, it's normal Bodhisattva bhumi, it's enlightened bhumi. So therefore, it just put it at the end. Okay. Now for this. Mayana path of meditation of a belief is like Merba Gonam. Now, path of a meditation, usually it have two categories. Path of meditation which have a strong influence. It has a Sakche Gonam, contaminated path of meditation and non-contaminated path of meditation. So over here, path of meditation which is contaminated, over here in terms contaminated, in terms which have a conceptual nature. The path of meditation which have a conceptual nature is considered as a path of meditation about contaminated, and path of meditation which are free from conceptual, it is considered as a path of meditation of non-contaminated. So now, this path of mind, the path of meditation of belief, Tibetan word is called a Merpa Gonglam. Merpa Gonglam is considered as a path of a meditation of a contaminated. It is still not free from conceptual. Again, if you ask why it is not free from conceptual, I think there will be different explanations, but maybe we'll go later. That part is more research, but again, now general just to understanding. Path of a meditation of a belief is considered a path of contaminated path of meditation, which is not free from conceptual. Okay, now object of a belief, maybe you, over here. Again, the translation, the belief, Tibetan word of a merpa is I don't know exactly. This carry the word belief carrying exact meaning of the merpa. I'm not very sure, but again, because there's a merpa, dumpa, tapa. Sometimes, okay, merpa is a belief, dumpa is an aspiration, tapa is a trust. If we can translate it that way, maybe it's okay. Aspiration is a dumpa. So this however, let's I explain what's the object of the belief. Over here, Merpa-gonam, object of belief is the object is Shung Shechen, Lam Shechen, Dewu Shechen. Shung Shechen is a perfection of in the Pangyana Paramita Sutta, let me say, Pangyana Paramita is one of the Möbe object of a belief. And direct realization in emptiness is just one of the object of a belief. And omniscient mind, the ultimate direct realization, the Buddha's ultimate Buddhicitta, is one of the object of a belief. So this over here, the perfection of the result and the path and the text. So text over here, Pangyana Paramita Sutra. So object of okay, this is object of the belief. The second, nature of the belief. Observing the quality of the perfection of wisdom. So, so it is kind of like a belief which is based on, of course, based on a logic and reason, once is trying to seeing the quality of a perfection of wisdom, that means basically, due to realizing the perfection of a wisdom, what the result can be produced from that. So over here, nature of the belief is kind of like that. Then cause of belief. The logic established by quality of the perfection of wisdom. When we say quality of the perfection of wisdom, over here, one thing is the important thing is that perfection of wisdom, when it's a perfection of wisdom, it have two different things. It have a conceptual level and it have a direct perception level. So to able to see the quality, that means from the conceptual level to transform to direct perception level, from direct perception level to omniscient level. So able to see this kind of a transformation is the quality of a perfection of wisdom. So once we're able to see that, there is individual person, if I make an effort, try to understand the emptiness, first conceptual level, once you're able to familiar that more and more, it can transform in a direct perception level. Once you're able to meditate on that on and on, that can transform in an omniscient level. So quality in terms of that, that kind of inspiration, encouragement, able to looking for that. Now, function of the belief. Once individual person get this kind of like understanding from conceptual to direct perception level, and also understanding the nature reality, then that kind of belief, function of that kind of the belief which is came through the wisdom, whatever that is, then the practice in the Mahayana or practice in the Buddha Dharma or whatever is very, very stabilizing. So function of a belief over here, again, in general, when we say a belief, mirpa can exist in the path of seeing, but over here, the reason why it is established in the path of a meditation is this kind of a belief which is went through lots of process of a meditation, came through lots of logic and experience and meditation. So it just becomes very solid. So based on that, there's no way to reversing from that kind of path. So it is very stabilizing on the whichever path that practitioner are. So, Merba Gonam. Now, definition of this path of a meditation of a belief, faith that believes the perfection of a wisdom is the treasure producing the three great purpose. So, of course, in this case, the perfection of a wisdom actually reverses for the mind or consciousness also. But sometimes also the text in the Panjana Paramita Sutra, which also, lots of explanation of wisdom, also can be one of the treasure or one of the source. Also, faith or belief on that, also can be Mobagonam, but over here, generally speaking, the wisdom, the mind. So, so again, Bodhisattva in a meditation, in a meditation path of a meditation, due to more clarity of the ultimate reality, that brings more strength, more deeper belief in all those perfections. So now, divisions, path of a meditation of belief, there's a three. Yeah, you can also see in the text, there's three things. So, Rangtön, Rangtön Möbagonam, how we translate that? Rangtön Möbagonam, Shendön Möbagonam, Nitön Möbagonam. Basically, in a path of basically, there's three divisions. We can just think like that way. In a path of a meditation, in the motivation, all those, in the motivation, basically purpose for compassion, wanting to desire to help for another, but the action can be self-purpose. In a path of a meditation, action, like the motivation, whatever motivation is helping for another, but the action can be, purpose of self. Now, one another thing, again, in the motivation, there's a again, benefiting for another, then also action can be together. Motivation for benefiting for another and action can have both, self-interest and another interest. So, Rangtön Möbagonam, Nitön Möbagonam, Shendön Möbagonam. So three divisions just exist based on that kind of category. So, how we can make example that Bodhisattvas all the time practicing, the cherishing towards for another, but still there's some action, can be interest. Maybe I think like example, like maybe Bodhisattvas all the time, the motivation is to help for another, but brushing their teeth, having tea, it can be like Rangtön Möbagonam. Then, so based on that, there's a three division. Basically, the motivation, both of three are motivation same, helping for another. The action have a different. Some have a self-interest. Some have a cherishing action. Some are helping for another. Action which have a both. So, due to this kind of things, there's a three division exists. Like an example, also we can make based on a motivation in the bodhicitta, self-purification. Can be Rangtön Möbagonam. So anyway, there's a three division for the Möbagonam. So next is the benefit of the path of path of a belief, benefit of the path of meditation and belief. Now again, the there's a there's an in Tibetan word we say Töpa, Kurwa, Ngakwa, praising, and in English word I don't know how to translate. But basically, when the Bodhisattva in the path of a meditation, there's three categories in the three category. So first, the category, motivation in compassion, but there's a completing some self-interest. At that time, while doing that time, related with that, there's like a 9 round of praising, and praising in terms is not like so good, so good, so good. At praising in terms like due to this kind of meditation, because the motivation was in a bodhicitta, there's in a leading sentient beings for like all different bodhisattvas bhumi's result. So there's basically path of a meditation of a belief divided in 3. So each have a 9 round. Töpagu, Kuwagu, Ngapagu. Okay. Okay. Now, path of a meditation of a dedication. The path of meditation of dedication, again, dedication exists in the path of seeing, but still over here, the putting in the path of a meditation is in the Bodhisattva Bhumi. In the Bodhisattva Bhumi, the ultimate dedication exists in the path of meditation. From that angle, I think dedication, put it over here, path of meditation. Now, in a dedicate, of course, to enlightenment. The reason why we dedicate is kind of dedication is kind of like interesting. It's just sometimes I feel like the dedication is like a karmic administration. It's administration. You have this strong positive karmic accumulation, so you have to make sure all these are organized way, good way to use. And in one way, dedication is like kind of like a plan. Your plan, you have this positive karmic accumulation or this budget So you plan. You're planning. The dedication is kind of like a planning. You know, where you want to spend all those things, where you want to take a vacation. So one way, you know, dedication is making sure that you are not going to lose that. So one another way, dedication is like like insurance, ensuring that virtue karma that will not going to destroy by negative emotion, ensuring. So, of course, the best insurance to ensure to enlightenment, you know, dedicated to enlightenment, is the best, the most reliable insurance. So again, it's kind of like a dedication is, once we dedicate the positive karma, is that karma will be never be going to destroyed by negative emotions such as like anger. Then the purpose which we dedicate for sentient being, Chedu Chawa. So anytime to become like a perfect dedication, we have to have a two aspect. One is where you dedicate to enlightenment, and one aspect is what purpose you dedicate. So these two elements, if that exists in your any dedication, then that dedication becomes very perfect. That dedication becomes Maya's dedication. That dedication becomes great scopes dedication. You know, so these two elements have to have a very important. Okay. Okay, now, what are you dedicating? Yeah. Yeah. Where you dedicate virtues marry. What you dedicate. What are you dedicating? You know, we have to make it clear, sure, the virtue merit. The arts are very interesting. I think the first one is like helping for older, then Mother Teresa, and the making of prostration. So it's kind of interesting. All the virtue is merit. What we dedicate. Now, of course, many times we get questioned, like, what is virtue merit? What is merit? Again, accumulation karma, you know, accumulation merit, you know, all these kind of concepts. If we more, you know, of course, thoroughly explanation can be difficult, but the most, you know, like the potential of a positive karma, the potential of a positive. The potential is the merit, virtuous merit. Positive potential is the virtuous merit. So basically, due to this kind of pure motivation, pure activity, in our mental continuum, we carry pure as a positive potential imprint is the virtuous merit. Okay. Now, okay, we have this rejoice in that. Okay. Now again, due to believing towards all those perfections, we accumulated positive karma. That positive karma we dedicate. Due to dedication, due to any this kind of dedication, we can rejoice for our own dedication. We can rejoice for another people's virtuous activities. There's two kinds. So the in a rejoicement, the essence of the rejoicement is that feeling joy for the virtue activity. There's a dedication have to have a two kind of element, as I mentioned earlier. For rejoicement, feeling joy towards the virtue activity done by yourself and for another. So basically, this practice there's in the practice Jorchu, practice of a Jorchu. Anytime when you do Lamrim, there's a preliminary practice of Jorchu. The essence of a Jorchu practice is the seven limb. Seven limb, the prostitution, the purification, prostitutions becomes the antidote of pride, magil. Shakwa, purification, becomes antidote of a general negativity. Then chöpa, the offering, becomes antidote of the attachment. I went to purification, I went early, but shakwa. Then Jesu rejoicement. Rejoicement in a general rejoicement becomes an antidote of jealousy. More the once we're able to practice in a rejoicement, the negative emotion, the jealousy, which is it have a very strong kind of emotion, negative emotion, which is self-torturing. Anger is like it have a negative emotion, have like a self, kind of like depends. It have a kind of like so rejoicement is, in a general speaking, it is the antidote of jealousy. Now, in this case, which is holded by wisdom directly realizing emptiness, so therefore it can path of meditation of rejoicement can become antidote of a cause of jealousy. So anyway, conceptual mind of the path of meditation fully joy at the thought of one's own roots of a virtue or another's. Rangi gezala rang. This is usually most of you know now in the Lamrim practice. Okay, rejoicement. So, path of meditation of achievement. So anyway, now we've the first three path of meditation: belief, dedication, and rejoicement. basically these three are in Sakje Gonam, path of meditation of contaminated. Path of meditation contaminated. Contaminated in terms they are not free of a conceptual mind. Still all those meditation, rejoicement and belief and dedications are basically those Buddhist Arya Bodhisattvas done through mental factor of a conceptual level. Now question comes, is this possible done by direct perception? In the text, there's not really clear explanation of those things, but my personal feeling, I think there's in the Bodhisattva, I think it's not able to do a direct perception level of a dedication, belief, or rejoicement. All these are definitely haven't done through. The reason is once individual person have get like a done through all these are direct perception level, then almost this individual practitioner have to achieve enlightenment. One another example is in a path of a meditation, those bodhisattvas who have a direct realization in emptiness, but they have a conventional bodhicitta, which is the nature of a consciousness, conventional bodhicitta, that is never considered as a direct perception. Conventional bodhicitta, until that bodhisattva achieve enlightenment, until that, it just stays in nature of a conceptual. It never once the bodhisattva achieve the enlightenment, then it transforms over direct perception level. So anyway, it have a when we say dedication, it have a one side of flavor in the consciousness of object of that consciousness have a complete enlightenment. So if that bodhisattva able to practice dedication to the direct perception level, then that complete enlightenment that bodhisattva able to experience through the direct perception level. Any bodhisattva who, if they're able to experience a complete enlightenment by the direct perception level, that means that person have to achieve, that practitioner have to cultivate or achieve the complete enlightenment. So therefore, why there's not direct perception is, I think, the reasons go same way. Why there's no conventional bodhicitta in the nature of a direct perception level doesn't exist in a bodhisattva bhumi. All our 10 bodhisattva bhumis, all those bodhisattvas have a conventional bodhicitta, but all these are in nature of conceptual level. I think it's carries same. The reason is, if that is a direct perception, that can have able to experience dzogchang, enlightenment directly. To able to experience enlightenment directly, the individual person have to obtain. So anyway, so based on this kind of applying same reason, the belief, the dedication, the rejoicement, all these three are able to practice in a conceptual level. So because of that, it is considered as a contaminated path of meditation. Sakje Gonam. Now this is the path of meditation of achieving is a Duba Gonam. Duba Gonam. Uncondemned path of meditation that becomes cause of ultimate realization. So over here, ultimate realization is Buddha's realization in Buddha's realization in emptiness. uncontaminated path, uncontaminated path of a meditation, usually there is a one which is going to become in the future Buddha's realization in emptiness, and one going to become in a future Buddha's ultimate cessation. There's a two kind of things. Now also, path of a meditation, there's a wisdom accumulation of a meditation and a virtue accumulation of a meditation. So due to that, there's also two type of uncontaminated path of meditation. One is path of meditation achieving, and one is path of meditation of a purity. Namtagonam. Maybe it may come later. So this one, 10th path of meditation achieving, this in the future is going to become a cause of a Dhammakaya. It's going to cause some Dhammakaya. And the ultimate realization is reverse called Dhammakaya. Okay. So first, the quality, we talked the nature. Nature, this is a direct realization in emptiness in the path of a meditation. So when the path itself, in the path of achieving itself, is free from conceptual. It is a direct perceptions. It observes, it experiences emptiness in it directly. From that point of view, it is free from nature of that path of meditation of achieving. Is free from duality, appearance of subject or object, duality, appearance of conventional reality. Then, of course, the objective negation. So, free from this kind of all things. So, nature is kind of like a very, we can say, listen, nature is free from those conditions. Now, result. What this path of meditation achieve can bring up, what kind of result it can bring up, without this path of meditation of achieving, bodhisattvas, any kind of six parameters, practice in six parameters, and practice in any kind of bodhisattva's activity, it never becomes direct cause of enlightenment. So all these are bodhisattva's deeds, able to become really directing all these activities, really directing towards to enlightenment, is able to done by path of meditation or achievement. So it brings result that kind of things. All those another enlightened bodhisattva activities, able to bring the result, the enlightenment. So the function the function in terms over here, this kind of direct realization in emptiness will make progress on the path with a free from grasping and free from conceptual. Another, Bodhisattva's path have some kind of function. It's not unique. It have related with the conceptual. It have a experiencing of truly existing, so on and so forth. But this have a totally freeing from all those kind of things, making progress on the path without going through the conceptual and without experiencing the truly existing, and so on and so forth. Then temporarily and ultimately, ultimately, of course, to obtain the Buddhahood, and temporarily, really, destroying to all the experiencing of a manifesting, grasping, and truly existing, manifesting, grasping, and truly existing. In the manifesting, grasping, and truly existing are eliminated by this path of meditation of achievement. Now, the 11th, so this is the complete pure path of a meditation, pure, this we call Namtak Gwalam. Namtak Gwalam, of course, so positive cause of this path, pure path of meditation, in now on, once we are in a practicing, practicing a Guru devotion, following practice of Guru devotion is one of the cause of a future complete pure path of a meditation. It becomes, and then of course, practicing in paramitas and practicing in calm abiding and special insight. These are also one of the positive, important cause of the complete pure path of a meditation. Namtak Gwalam. The negative condition of this path of meditation of pure is like sometime when we're trying to study in a Panjana Paramita Sutra, subject related with the wisdom, just some kind of like disregarding, or kind of like a putting down, or like really not respecting for the logic and reason which is described for these kind of karmic activities. The negative condition is because the main obstacle to cultivating in the future the pure path of the complete pure path of meditation. And then of course influenced by negative guidance. In this case, like if there's something that you have a guides, a teacher or guidance who shows you to influencing you to believe in a wrong view in terms over here is believing things are truly existing. Things are truly existing. Things are independently existing. This kind of believing these conditions becomes obstacles in the future to cultivate pure path of a meditation. The ultimate meaning of this, and this is kind of interesting ones. Once individual bodhisattva, when they go deep meditation in emptiness, in a direct realization, due to their mind non-duality experience, due to that, their consciousness becomes a very purity. Due to that, whatever object are also pure. So basically, subject becomes pure due to meditation. The object also able to become pure. Some kind of like again, this is very strongly related with the Sutrayana, but in a Tantrayana, we have this practicing of a deity yoga, trying to kind of visualizing yourself as a purity. Due to that, you're trying to experience the environment also purity. Yeah, so this meditation of a pure is not only from the subject, but also due to purity of the subject, mind, and also the object also pure. Like an example, there is a Buddha experience all this environment as a pure. Buddha never experiences unpure environment. The again reason is the inner realizations. Once it becomes totally pure, there's some kind of experience all the time. How the mind, just to take a very gross level of example, although one individual person, general considered, let me say, one individual person is considered as your friend, and when your mind is in a medium level of a feeling, when you meet that friend, you're still friend, but there's something. When your mind is so joyful, so happy, when you met that friend, there's a purity of that, I say clarity or purity, or there's a lot of different is changing due to your mind of changing. So that kind of things. So path of a pure path of meditation, Namtam Gonam, at that time, also they said like the subject minds, when it's free from that contamination, the object also free from the contamination. Basically, because of the able to experience non-duality by direct perception level. Once the practitioner is able to experience non-duality with the direct perception level, everything becomes pure land. Okay, thank you. We finished. Okay, good night. Huh? Or dedication. Rinpoche Magye Banam Ge Gyurje Keba Nyamba Me Baya Kone Gandu Beba Sho Chupa Uje Da Kembada Kundu Zambo Deyande Jende Teda Gungi Jesu Taloje Kewali Dadram Ramdu Tuzum Shebe Yawadanjeji Mowadana Chodungaban Dagi Gere Zawadi Gunja Sambujeze Okay.